Out with the Archon Firearms Type B. Very interesting gun. If you didn't see the tabletop, pause, open another tab, and go watch that, because this thing is different in more ways than one. We'll start things off, of course, as always, with full mag plus one. Out at about 20 yards or so, we have an ABC zone target, just so I have something to aim at. I will try to hit it every time, but I will not be slowing down because I don't want y'all to get bored. This is just a way to make it not pointless shooting and still have some type of training. The Type B ships with four magazines, so doing the plus one was pretty easy. That mag release is still a little sticky from the left side, but it wasn't sticky at all from the right side. I will swap that before we do anything else. I show you how to do that in the tabletop video. We're using the Archon's own ammunition. It's 124 grain Hollow-Point with a nice, I don't know if it's a black nickel coating on the casing, but it's pretty ammo. And we'll see how it runs. 124 grains, a little heavier than most Americans shoot, but certainly makes things reliable. See if that follows suit on the Type B. Cycled pretty easily, and you might have noticed in the footage there how low this sits in the hand. And part of that is their unique locking system that is not a Browning system. Ran all 16 rounds. Next is what's for dinner. For what's for dinner, this is when we test out different loads of different weights, projectile shapes, casing strength, as in brass, aluminum, steel, and nickel plated or non. This is what we've got. We're starting at 85 grains, going all the way up to 165 grains. Many people have asked why we only do 3 rounds. That's because all we're looking for is to see, will it pick up from slide lock? Does the gun cycle with the energy of one fired round? And will it lock the slide open with that energy once the magazine is empty? Really, this could be done with 2 rounds. We do 3 rounds just in case there's an anomaly. Testing the actual magazine's ability to run this ammo was already completed during the full mag plus one. Doing it this way keeps things efficient and allows us to constantly have such a wide variety of ammo. Thank you to those who support us through the Ammo Squared affiliate. That's where a good portion of this is able to be purchased. So our lightest and possibly most likely to choke will be at just 85 grains, the Night from Ammo Inc. This is their Ops one precise shot Frangible Hollow-Point with the streak glow-in-the-dark stuff on the back. It's not quite dark enough out here to see it, but it's the lightest stuff I've got, and it's a short projectile. It's really the same weight as a lot of 380s. We'll see how this runs. I'll be shooting at the upper left target. It's technically number 6. You'll see once we get down there why I'm starting with 6. Here we go. No cycling issues, hit pretty much at point of aim, and it locked the slide back. Next up, gaining only 5 grains at 90 grains is Winchester's how clean? Well, super clean. This is a zinc core full metal jacket, lead-free projectile. It's also snubby, which could potentially cause some feeding issues. As you may recall from the tabletop video, the magazine puts the gun pretty much right ready to receive the rounds. This will be at target number 7. Hit point of aim, lock the slide back. Now from MagTech, we have a 95 grain jacketed soft point, flat point. Also looks a whole lot like a 380 bullet, but we'll see how it does. I think the Archon's engineering pretty much means everything goes in the pipe. This will be target number 8. Woo, that's a flash. Quite the fireball coming out of that round. Surprised me, threw one shot, but 2 touching, and it locked the slide back. Next up from Norma is the 108 grain MHP. That's a monolithic hollow point, meaning one big old piece. Got some nice pretty coatings on there. Great looking ammunition. So far performed very well for us. This will be target number 9. Lock the slide back. Next is Hornady's American Gunner. This is their affordable line of 115 grain hollow points. The same bullet weight that we Americans are used to shooting. We already shot some ball, although that was 124, so I guess I'm wrong. So this is American weight. It's a rather narrow hollow point. Usually feeds very easily for target number 10. Considerably more recoil than the previous load. But it's accurate, and it locked the slide back.
All right, next up is Barnaul's 115 grain steel case. We shoot steel case because steel expands and contracts differently than other materials. Next up we have Blazer 115 grain in the aluminum case. It shot a lot lighter than the last load. All right, next up is Remington UMC 124 grain. Nice little pretty ball there.
See the fire on that one.
Yeah. For some reason I keep pulling right up there to the left. In the brass jacketed round there.
That looked pretty smooth to shoot.
Yeah, that was a nice load. All right, next up we've got Stealth 165 grain. It's a pretty little round. Because I'm a girl, that stuff matters.
Hashtag.
I like that. Like that a lot.
Soft shooting.
Very soft, which obviously let me come back on my target faster.
Shot well.
Thank you. All right, so now we're going to do our accuracy 5 rounds of the Norma Hexagon. It's 124 grain. I will shoot at the bottom square circle.
And for my 5 shots from 7, I will also be using the Norma Hexagon 124 grain. Little fun fact, Norma is part of the Ruag Corporation, as is Gecko, who made this gun. So hopefully they play well together. We did see that the Norma 108 grain worked just fine. I'll be shooting at the top circle square. And I'm not sure this is 7 yards. This feels like it's a little bit further out, but the shots have been okay so far, so we're gonna run with it. I'm just trying to give myself an excuse in advance.
All right, so my thoughts on the Type B. It's a really smooth shooting gun. Aside from it being sexy, it fits in the hand really well. It's got nice features, you know, landmarks on it for where you place your fingers and such. The only negative I have on it right now is just that since Graham changed this mag release to the other side, it's now digging into my finger a little bit. However, it's something I think that I'll tolerate because it makes the mag release a lot easier than moving my thumb to release it from this side because I have shorter hands. Shoots smooth. I'm able to come back on target really fast, although my accuracy is going to improve. The only other thing that was difficult for me about this one was the sights. I prefer a white sight rather than the red fiber optic. But other than that, sexy piece.
I did it good. Just having fun. Glad to redeem myself after some random shooting with the what's for dinner there. But I gotta say the Hexagon's good stuff. I mean, it's competition grade anyways. So on to the Type B. The grip texturing is definitely unique. It applies pressure and grip in all the places that I would expect it to. More on that is in the tabletop. As far as the actual shooting, as you can see, it definitely sinks down low in the hand, which gets it right back on target real quick. You don't have nearly as much, at least perceived, muzzle flip as with other platforms. The trigger, you know, there are no external safeties on this, and there is no little dingus on the trigger. This is just a ready-to-go fighting gun, if you will. However, I gotta say the initial take-up is almost long enough and heavy enough. It's not a double action, but it's enough that you're not gonna accidentally startle it. So long as you're carrying this in a proper holster, I think it's probably safe. And this is not necessarily a first gun, but it is you know, it's a gun that you graduate to after you've decided what you want. So the trigger's fine for that. In the shooting we did today, and of course it is low 50s here, fall time in Oregon, didn't feel any heat coming through the trigger like some of the early shooters complained about. I did, however, pinch the bottom of my finger as it rolled through, but that happens to me on a lot of guns, and I'm sure if this was my everyday shooter that I'd be moving my finger a little bit higher up there. I just like the bottom because you have a little more leverage on the trigger, so it gives you a perceived lighter trigger feel, which is why a lot of people like flat or flat-ish triggers, is you're getting that leverage advantage. Really smooth shooter, couldn't make it malfunction. Very comfortable shooter, very unique firearm. I think it's pretty cool. I'm glad to see that these stuck around. Originally they came in the States and then disappeared, and I think came back once more and disappeared. If there was any disappearing to be done, I'd say it's because people are snatching them up, because this is a pretty cool gun. And Archon already has holsters for it. As a guy who likes odd guns, one of the things that is difficult with different types of firearms is not being able to find a holster for it. And Archon carries holsters for it. Archon's got ammo loaded. You saw it run through What's for Dinner. I can't find really a flaw. There's no reason to complain about this gun. It's a great gun.